Winnie and Leon were so excited to get a new home, far away from the noisy and busy environment. They were only 1 year into marriage and Winnie was heavily pregnant with their first child. Leon was an accountant by profession while Winnie was a fashion designer who was so much into the latest fashion trends. Leon had been saving all his life even before he married Winnie to get a house where his family would settle and call home. After several years of saving, Winnie and Leon started going through real estate agencies on their internet, and just when they were about to give up, a beautiful house popped up on their screen. It was exactly what they always wanted. It was a 6-bedroom mansion, perfectly located with a stream passing nearby and surrounded by a forest far from the noisy town. That night, as they went to bed, Winnie went into labor and Leon was forced to take his wife to the hospital. Winnie put to bed a bouncing baby boy and they named him Johan Jr. After Winnie was discharged, Leon drove his family back home and after 2 months, Winnie had fully recovered. Leon then called a moving truck that helped his family to move into their new home. When they got to their new home, Winnie could not help but admire the beautiful scenery. The air was fairly cold and fairly windy. The chirping birds filled the air with a beautiful tune, and the blossoming flowers broke the boredom of the green grass and the trees and brought so much life to the garden. The furniture in the garden was perfectly picked and Winnie just loved everything. Winnie then took her son to his new bedroom to sleep and then she joined the rest to organize their new home. As she came downstairs, her shoe got stuck on the stairs and she noticed that that was the only place that was wooden. She brushed the thought off and joined her husband to arrange their new house. Later that night, Winnie had a dream, and in the dream, she was led back to where they were sitting in the sitting room. There she saw she was sitting with her husband. Then they perceived a foul smell and they started scouting to find where it was coming from. The smell then led them down the staircase. Leon went for tools from the garage and they dug and pulled out the wooden staircase. Finally, they were able to access the place and it happened to be a stuffy storehouse built underground. Suddenly, a rat came running and squeaking towards them, but then disappeared. The foul smell got stronger when they approached some cabinet in the store, and right behind it, they got the shock of their lives. There was a black coffin, and right inside lay a rotten skeleton that seemed to be of an elderly man. Winnie screamed out of fear, and when she woke up, she told her husband everything. They slept, but the following morning, they went and inspected the place, and to their surprise, there was actually a grave downstairs. They looked further, and they found money in millions. They called in the police who took in the remains, but they allowed them to keep the money. They used the money to invest in real estate, and they bought more properties, and they became real estate agents. They renovated their staircase, and their home became one of the beautiful homes admired by many. They lived happily ever after. The end. If you have enjoyed this story, please do not leave without giving it a like, subscribe and share, and please consider leaving a comment on the comment section telling me whether you enjoyed the story and telling me whatever city or country you're watching me from for me to give you a shout out in the next episode of Wonder Tales by Julian.